Hi, boys and girls. Happy Monday. Last week we learned about the presidents, well, especially George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and then I showed you some of the presidents whose faces are on the coins on our money. And I also showed you my poster of all 46 presidents from George Washington to number 46, Joe Biden, our current president right now. I want to read you just this little story about presidents, and then we're going to do some writing, okay? What is a president? What is a president? The president is a leader who plans what is best for our country. Here's a picture. Now that's not supposed to be Donald Trump or Joe Biden or George Washington or Abraham Lincoln. They just made a picture of a man working in an office that looks like he could be the president, right? You can be a leader too. So this is a boy who's leading the flag salute. Okay, he's telling his whole class, put your right hand over your heart, and then he's saying, ready, begin, and they're doing the pledge together. He's being a leader in his classroom. What is a president? The president is a helper who helps people in need. So here is the president, and he's kind of overseeing these people are building a house. And I have a feeling they're building a house for people who either can't afford to buy their own homes, or maybe if there was some kind of a disaster, like a flood or fires, and they're trying to rebuild people's homes, the president is in charge of doing that. You can be a helper too. So here's a picture of a boy who fell off a swing, and another boy comes to help. So you can do the same as a president. You can be a good helper when people need it. What is a president? The president is a problem solver who works with other countries. So here's the president. Doesn't say what country he's at, but maybe he went to Egypt, or he went to Israel, or he went somewhere, and he is working with the leader of that country to solve problems. You can be a problem solver too. Okay, the two girls might have had a problem, but they worked it out. They're shaking hands. They're saying, okay, it's okay. I'm sorry. Let's be friends. What is a president? The president is a community builder who helps people live and work together. Okay, here's the president. He's making sure the job gets done. You can be a community builder too. These kids are planting a tree, maybe at a park or maybe at their school. What is a president? The president is a teacher who teaches us about what is happening around the world. So this president, he's probably on the news and he's telling people what's going on someplace in the world. You can be a teacher too. This boy is giving a report in front of his classmates. He did a report on something. He's sharing what he learned. What is a president? The president is a decision maker who helps our country make good choices. Here's the president. This says NASA on this. They're doing some kind of a space exploration and the president is there. You can help make important decisions too. These girls are voting. They're putting their vote. They're voting maybe for student council, or maybe who's going to be the president at the school, and they're putting their vote in a box. What is a president? The president is a lawmaker who makes laws to keep our country safe. You can help make laws too. So here's the president making some rules or some laws for America. And here's the kids. And they're saying you can help too. What they're doing is they're making signs that says no littering. Throw your trash in the trash can. I bet they're going to put those up in a park or somewhere. They're trying to help their community. What is a president? The president is the leader of our country. Someday you could be president too. Isn't that a good picture? It's a little boy, but he's wearing the suit and the tie from the president. And he's thinking about maybe someday living in Washington, D.C. and working at the Capitol building. So I asked you guys on Friday who thought they would like to be the president of the United States, and quite a few kids raised their hand. So I think it's interesting because you know what? That would take you guys a while to do. I'll probably be old and gray by that time that happens. But wouldn't that be exciting to think of one of you guys growing up to be the president of the United States? And remember, we haven't had any girls be president yet. But maybe by the time you guys are old enough to become the president, which would be another 30 or 40 years from now, maybe we'll have a woman, right? A president. I think we will. So right now I want you to think about that. The president can do so many things for America. This paper here says, if I were president, and I want you guys to just write that, if I were president. Let's go ahead and copy that. The words are already there, but that'll kind of give us a good start. And then you just finish the sentence for me. There's so many things that you could do if you were president. You could change the laws. You could make new laws. You could make sure everybody had enough money. You could make sure everybody had food and clothes. You could make sure that everybody had a nice house to live in. There's so many things that you could do. So think about what you would do if you became the president of the United States. Okay, let's see. Right now, because we're not in school and we want to be in school, I think maybe that's what I'm going to say. If I were president, I would open all the schools so that we can go back to the classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy. Boys and girls, these lines are really light. There's a top line, a bottom line, and the dotted line is really light, but it's there. I'm going to go ahead and start with a capital letter and write if, and then I'm going to use, oh, I wish I had my stick here. I don't, but I happen to have this ruler here. I'm going to use this for a spacer. Okay, you see what I'm doing? I'm using that ruler for a spacer. If you guys have that, remember the popsicle stick I gave you, the really thick one? If you guys have that, that would be a good spacer. If I, now I'm going to move my stick again, were, and those are actually all good sight words. If I were president, and then president is right there, so I'm just going to copy it. They are starting it with a capital letter. President. Now I'm gonna move my stick, put a space between my words. Now wood is a hard word, and I'll show it to you in a minute. Wood. It's not the kind of wood like the table's made out of wood. It's a sight word that we probably will not learn this year. W-O-U-L-D. You learn it when you're in first grade, but it's good for you to know it. Okay, so right now, if I were president, I would open all the, is a sight word, schools. And you know what? I think that's going to happen pretty soon. I would open all the schools. Okay, and then I think that's probably good enough. Now remember, you do not have to write what I wrote. And then up here, I want a picture of you guys. All right, I'm just gonna draw a picture of me. I don't have to make myself any different if I were president. I know George Washington had a hat on and Abraham Lincoln did, but we don't have to even wear a hat. I'm just gonna draw a picture of me. That is me as the president of the United States. If I were president, I would open all the schools and let all the kids come back to school. And I think I'm going to color this too. Okay, and remember, you're just copying this and then completing the sentence. And you can do whatever you want. If you were president of the United States, what would you do?